Hello, I'm Pablo Reyes, president of Remen Recovery. Welcome to this Remen University training. In this lesson, we are going to focus on one of the most important skills every agent must develop: how to properly introduce a surplus funds case to a client during the very first contact. The first conversation matters. In many cases, you only get one opportunity to create trust, establish credibility, and keep the person engaged long enough to understand how you may be able to help them. And here is the key. Our job is not to pressure people. Our job is to guide them professionally. One of the biggest mistakes new agents make is overpromising. Never guarantee money, never guarantee timelines, and never make statements that cannot be verified. At Remen Recovery, we operate with transparency, professionalism, and integrity. The purpose of the first call is simple: introduce yourself. Explain why you are calling, verify basic information, and position yourself as a trusted guide. Your tone should always sound calm, respectful, and confident. Not aggressive, not desperate, not scripted like a telemarketer. Remember, people affected by foreclosure are often dealing with stress, embarrassment, or distrust. The way you speak can immediately lower or raise their guard. A strong first introduction may sound something like this. Hello, my name is Dr. Alias, and I'm calling from Remen Recovery. The reason for my call today is that during a public records review, we identified information that may indicate there could be unclaimed funds connected to a previous property or foreclosure process associated with your name. My goal today is simply to verify a few details and explain what options may be available to you. Notice what we did there. We said, may indicate, could be, options may be available. That language matters because we are informing, not promising. Now compare that to what you should never say. You definitely have money waiting. We can guarantee you a check. You're getting paid. Those statements can destroy credibility and create legal problems. Professional agents speak carefully and accurately. Another important rule: do not overload the client. Keep it simple. Most people have never heard the term surplus funds. If you sound too technical too early, people become confused or defensive. Instead, explain it in plain language. For example, sometimes after a foreclosure sale, there may be remaining funds left after debts and costs are paid. In certain situations, those funds may still belong to the former owner. Our role is to help review the situation and determine whether there may be an opportunity to recover those funds. Simple, clear, professional. The first call is also about energy. People can feel intention through your voice. If you sound like you only care about money, they will disconnect emotionally. But if you sound calm, respectful, and genuinely helpful, trust begins to build. And trust is everything. You should also be prepared for objections. Some people will say, "This sounds like a scam. I'm not interested. How did you get my information?" Never become defensive. Instead, stay calm and acknowledge their concern professionally. For example, "I completely understand your concern. That's actually why we encourage people to verify everything. We work through public records, and our goal is simply to help people understand whether they may have funds connected to their case." Professionalism lowers resistance. And remember this: the first conversation is not always about closing immediately. Sometimes the goal is simply to open the door for trust and future communication. At Remen Recovery, we believe long-term credibility is more valuable than short-term pressure, because when you treat people correctly, they remember it. As an agent, your responsibility is bigger than making calls. You represent hope, professionalism, and integrity during what may have been a hard moment. So every time you make that first contact, remember: stay calm, speak clearly, avoid promises, educate with confidence, and lead with empathy. Because at Remen Recovery, we don't chase people, we guide them toward their second chance. Welcome to Remen University. Now let's go to work.